Hey, what's up guys? I'm Beta and I will be showing you a quick overview of the AIO bot, the dashboard, and the Discord. So starting off with the dashboard, that's what you're first going to see when you get in. It's very straightforward. It'll show how many keys you have. It's reseller friendly in that aspect, not right now until we add the unbind function, but after we do it, it looks very reseller friendly. It shows you how many licenses you have, how many are expired, the Windows and Mac download, the Twitter link, and the Discord link. It doesn't automatically join you when you buy a key or log into the dashboard, so make sure to click that. And for text and video guide, this is the video guide, and the text guide will be up soon, so stay tuned for that. That's really all there is to know about the dashboard. So moving on to after you've installed everything, it's a very straightforward installation. Just clicks, nothing advanced about it. So you go here after inputting your key, and you'll see 6 sections: tasks, profiles, raffles, proxies, rates and accounts, and settings. So raffles is not functioning right now. It will be added in the future, but it is not working right now. We don't have any raffles up. So first thing you're going to want to do when you get the bot is add a profile, add some proxies. Those are what's going to have you check out if you don't know. So you make a profile here. Check out once means that you only check out one item per profile per site. So instead of multiple tasks purchasing an item, once one task with that profile purchases the item, then the other tasks don't check out. Different shipping is if you have different billing and shipping details, straightforward. You can use PayPal right now. That's in the progress of a rewrite, which will be done in the near future, but no word on the exact date. But you'll be able to vary between PayPal, which is useful for drops like Juice Store, and credit card. So that's all there is to profile. Very simple, straightforward. It's a straightforward bot, pretty user friendly. So moving on to proxies. What you're going to do is we operate by proxy list, not by separate proxies. So let's create a new proxy list, and in that I will create a proxy. And I click update proxies, and there you go. So there you have it. Rates and accounts. Accounts are for certain websites like Off-White, or for Shopify, Undefeated, Concepts. So we'll tell you in the release guide if you're not sure if you need an account or not, and from there you can just create one on the website. But you can easily add it here. This is the name. This is the name for the email you'd used when you put it in tasks. Moving on to rates. So if you don't know, shipping rates are, I guess, little text blobs you could say that make your checkouts faster on Shopify. So we will include them in future release guides when we recommend you have them, because some sites, they have variable shipping rates in which the shipping rate depends on the weight of the item, and if you put in the wrong shipping rate, it's going to slow down your checkout. So you'll just add it here and you'll say the name for it, and yeah, very straightforward. Moving on to settings, there's 4 sections. Let's start in the top left with API keys. This is the 2CAPTCHA API key, which you can get from going to 2captcha.com and adding funds. What this does is if you're not at home, it automatically solves CAPTCHAs for you. It's not recommended on Shopify because it's just too slow in comparison to other bots and people solving CAPTCHA. And it is used, I believe, on Off-White with Cloudflare, I'm pretty sure. Now moving on to Discord webhook. It's just very straightforward. I'll link a short little guide to making your own webhook, or you can check in the master guide for the section. It's very, very brief, very straightforward. If you click send bypass notification, every time you get a checkout link, like for a Juice Store drop, it'll send a ping to it'll ping your Discord webhook. So you can test that here. Now moving on to core. Core is basically your quick task settings, which will be implemented in the future. It has your default profile and your default proxy list, very straightforward. Moving on to miscellaneous, it's also very straightforward. it tells you, or if you can either have it play, you can have both. You can play a sound on checkout, and you can play a sound when a CAPTCHA is prompted. So I'd find this useful, but if you're running a lot of tasks, it probably would be pretty spammy. So it's all up to personal preference. Moving on to delays, probably the most important part besides proxies of a task. So the majority of the time, we're going to recommend that you have a 0 checkout delay, but we will specify that in release guides. The majority of the information you need for a release, if you don't really know what you're doing, can be found in a release guide. Monitor and error delay. Monitor is how often a product checks, or how often the bot checks to see if a product is in stock, and error delay is how long it waits until it retries after it encounters an error, like say out of stock or something like that. So yeah, you're usually going to keep these the same, and they're going to be higher a longer period of time before the drop, but when it's closer to the drop, you're going to lower it significantly. Not to the point, not like well below 5,000, but like 4,000 ish, probably 3,000. So yeah, we're gonna make our first task here. So I already had it set up. Go to Shopify. I'm gonna click on Kith, choose a random size, choosing the URL method. If you don't know, variants are strings of numbers that represent a certain size for a certain product. They're each one of them is special to their own product and size, and you can usually check out faster with variants as opposed to URLs or keywords, because it's one less request you have to make, or 2 less requests in the keywords case. So we're going to use a URL here. We're going to use the CDG Converse Lows. We're going to use human mode, even though I don't think we need to right now, as Kith does not have its CAPTCHA up. We're going to do a test profile and no proxy. We're not going to select an account, and we're not going to select a shipping rate, just for the sake of having this video going faster. And there's no point in us preloading cart right now because there's no queue, and same goes for payment. But just so you know, preloading cart, it's like getting a checkout link before the release so you can skip the queue when the shoe actually drops. This is not to be used when a site has its password page up or other instances like that, as it's useless and will just slow you down if it does anything. And preload payment, that's a step further on preload cart, which it takes you to the final step, which makes checkout a lot faster. But at the same time, if the site has CAPTCHA enabled, like Kith or Undefeated or Concepts, then you don't want this enabled, because it'll slow down your checkout, because you'll have to go back to the stage where it asks for a CAPTCHA token. So we're just gonna add this task. Before I do that, actually, just look at the enable scheduler. That's if you can't be at your computer to start a task, but you still want to have it run. So you can set that for, the format is month, date, year, year, hour, minute, AM or PM. So we're not going to use that right now, but we're just going to do this and we're going to start. You'll see that a CAPTCHA harvester pops up while this is going. It's very like TKS in that you can add multiple windows in the same harvester. I guess, no, multiple harvesters in the same window, and you can log in here. All very simple, basic. To reload is just to clear the CAPTCHA, and you can select between checkpoint and checkout, which is very useful if you're running a good amount of tasks and you want to prioritize checkout CAPTCHAs that you can check out as quickly as possible. So yeah, we're not going to wait for this task to finish, as it's basically gone through all the steps, and as you can see, it works just fine. Last few things, there's start all, stop all, delete all. There's mass edit, which is if you want to change the URL, keywords, or variant for all of your tasks, or if you want to change them all to use a specific password on the website, then you can do that here. So that's everything that there is for the bot. Moving on to the Discord, which helps a lot if you have any questions. You'll see this before you're verified. Oh yeah, major thing. If you haven't verified, then make sure to message Kylo Authentication with !verify followed by your key, and then you'll be able to see everything here. Well, not this, not that, but a little part of this. So you'll see the rules. Make sure to read this. It's very important, especially Rule 10, to not run on bot wars. That's a very important rule. You go to announcements, that's going to be important things or things that are pertinent to the bot. Generally, keep notifications on for this. Make sure to look at everything that we say here. The change log, you can see this in the bot as well when an update is required, but it just tells you what is in the new update and what we added or modified or removed. The dashboard, just a link to the dashboard, nothing special. Proxies are where we'll have different providers giving us most of the time discount codes to have cheaper or to have a discount. And yeah, moving on to release guides. This is if you don't have a cook group or you don't really know what you're doing. This is probably behind tickets, or not even behind tickets. This is definitely the most important channel for you. So as you can see, we give the time, whether it's confirmed or unconfirmed. We give you the keywords if there's no link. We tell you if there's an account required, capture required, anti-bot enabled, and checkpoint enabled, and what mode to run. We will add shipping rates in the future among select other things, but everything. We also give early links and variants as well as pictures to see exactly how you should be setting up so that you make sure that you don't mess up anything. So yeah, very important channel. If you don't really know what you're doing, then this is definitely the most important channel. Bugs are where you report anything that you think has gone wrong with the bot and isn't your fault. Sometimes we'll ask you to make a ticket, like here, sneak this, or we'll tell you we're working on a fix or something like that. Feature requests is just suggestions. We ask you at the moment not to recommend sites because we already have a set plan for the future, which is Supreme and Foot sites, and I think that'll occupy us for a little while. So if anything, we'll announce if we're ever working on a new site. This is where you create tickets under the support area, and that's all you need to see for support. Don't need to see that. Don't need to see that. Chat is not all too important. You don't have to be in here. A lot of people like to troll in here, but at the same time, staff will be in here often to answer any serious questions. Success, very obvious. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Just reminder, don't be that guy. But it'll show you, it's the public webhook essentially. It doesn't have quick task functionality like TKS does. Maybe it will in the future, but for now it just shows when a checkout happens and the basics. Successful setups. This will be used more in the future, like today for the obey drop. It's probably very useful for the people that don't have the most experience with the bot. And yeah, so that's really all for the Discord and for the bot and for the dashboard. If you have any questions, make sure to read the master guide and the FAQ and just hit us up, DM us, make a ticket, us being the staff. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.